Hi, I'm Mike Cushionbury, Global Marketing Manager for Cannondale Mountain Bikes, and this is the 2013 Trigger. For 2012, we had the Claymore, which adjusted from 180 to 110, along with the Jekyll, which went from 150 to 90. And now, for 2013, Trigger rounds out the line. It's shorter travel, it adjusts from 120 to 70, and it has 130 millimeter travel Lefty hybrid, which is our new Lefty technology. Trigger allows us to complete the over-mountain line. We've moved Jekyll and Claymore a little more aggressive with shorter stems, wider bars, chain guides, and Trigger now is for the fast, fluid trail rider who identifies with our over-mountain line. It has our Ecstasy enhanced center stiffness with torsion control, which is based in 15 millimeter through axles here and here. And what makes this unique is that the bearings are inside the frame rather than in the link. And what that does is makes it a structural part of the frame because it clamps onto the linkage and you don't get any twisting. It's a solid piece. If you put the bearings out here in the link, they're fighting each other, and that's what makes the center of the bike move around. With Ecstasy, the entire frame is one solid structure. You can have the stiffest frame, you can have the stiffest rear triangle, but if the center moves, you're going to get a lot of wobble. That does not happen with Ecstasy. Trigger is designed for the fast, fluid trail rider who probably rides the same trails as a Jekyll rider but tends to take different lines, and his rides may include a lot more climbing than your typical Jekyll rider. Trigger has the dual travel dyad shock, 120, 70 millimeter travel. It has two separate damping circuits that are unique to each setting. When you're in the elevate mode, you have a very progressive shock rate. It's like a cross-country air shock. You do get a little bit of movement initially, so the rear wheel stays on the ground, but then it ramps up very steep so that you get exceptional pedaling and climbing ability. Switch it to flow, and the bike actually settles in about 40% more sag. And this slackens the head angle, and it lowers your bottom bracket, so you get a very downhill-ish feeling bike. The shock spring is very progressive, and it feels like a coil-over shock. With the dyad, we don't rely on any kind of platform technology like most other bikes. It is actually two shocks in one, so your ride characteristics completely change every time you flick the lever. The Trigger also has the new 130 millimeter travel Lefty with hybrid bearing technology. It's actually the first overhaul of Lefty since it came out. If you're familiar with Lefties of the past, you'll notice that the roller bearings tend to migrate back and forth. And one of the ways, really the only way that you could fix that, was you'd take the cap off and you would have to push the fork all the way down and pull it back up. With the new technology, every time the fork cycles through and gets to the bottom of its stroke, the bearings automatically reset themselves. If you're riding and you feel that last few months you've never used all your travel, you're riding a bike path or you're just noodling around, all you have to do, let all the air out, push the fork all the way down, and your bearings are reset. Now that the fork is fully sealed, there's a lubricating oil bath outside the cartridge which consistently keeps the bearings lubricated. And because this is an inverted fork, the seal at the bottom is always lubricated, so it never dries out and there's never any stiction. It's always a very smooth, very supple performing fork, no matter what the conditions are. On the dyad shock, you'll notice there are two red adjusters. That's the rebound. Each travel has its own adjustable rebound, independent of each other. So you can set your elevate to one rebound speed and your flow to another, and it has no effect on each other. We've spent a lot of time developing this shock with Fox, and it's proven to be ultra reliable, maintenance free, and it's easy to set up. What you'll do is you just empty out all the air in your positive and your negative, set your positive to our recommended setting, and then air up the negative. It's generally maybe 30 PSI lower. That's a rough guideline, but you'll see right here, as you're airing up the negative, when this slightly pops up, you're just about right. Go out and ride, and then you can fine-tune your negative to get the perfect ride. Trigger will be available at the end of the year, and there will be two models. This is the Trigger 1, which comes with Reynolds carbon wheels. It has our OPI stem, which is ultra light and ultra effective. That just threads into the bottom. It's a one-piece unit. Ballistic carbon, diad shock, which you talked about, SRAM double chainring, XTR rear derailleur. Trigger 2 will be slightly more affordable. If you want to know more about Trigger, visit Cannondale.com and you can get all the information you need.